What's going on, everybody? It's Greg. It's been a while since I did an update, so I thought I'd throw one out there. Uh, this is my 20 long that had all my white clouds in it, and a breeding pair of plecos. As you can see, there's no more white clouds in it. I moved all the white clouds into another tank that's just behind me. We'll get to them later. In here right now is just a breeding pair of plecos, and I have 3 Celestial Pearl Danios, which apparently are not going to make a show. I wonder where they are. I bet they're hiding back here. But there's only 3 of them in there. I believe 1 female and 2 males. So not a great ratio, but I'm hoping to get some breeding and get some more of them in here. Beyond that, this tank is doing good. Let's see, this tank, I had all my plecos in here died. I had like 5 albinos, bristlenose, and probably like 4 regular. And for some reason, I lost every single one of them, but did not find any bodies. There is plecos in here now. There's one right there, and there's another one that's a bit smaller. I actually took them from this tank and threw them in here because, as you can see, the algae is getting out of control in just a few days. Without having all those algae eaters in there, it was getting out of hand. But on a cool note, that's a bad glare. Let's see if I can do this. I've got all my pencil fish now in here. You can see the different size ones. So all the fry are now in here with their parents. I've got about 10 or 11 total in here, I believe. And it's just really fun to watch them swim around, all the different sizes. I did move some cherry shrimp into here. What was really cool is when I put them in here, they all colored up a lot. And of course they're going to do a no-show too. Here. Focus. Nope, no focus. So, but there's probably like 8 of them in there, but there will be no more because all of these pencil fish are micro predators and their babies are delicious food for them. Which wasn't my intent, but it is a little plus for it. This tank is just basically full of snails and a few swordtail fry. Swordtail fry don't really seem to be growing very much. But a lot of plants in there, that's about it. I actually pulled my puffers out of the other tank that they were in with the glass cats, and I moved them over into here. They were nipping the tail off of my bristlenose in there, and without having some snails in there, the algae was getting really, really bad. So, in this tank, you can already see the algae starting to build up on the sides. This is the one down thing I don't like about puffers. But, what's interesting though is they've been in here for a few days now, and there's a snail there. There's a snail just at the corner underneath that rock, that little blurb. But I haven't gotten them all, so hopefully some of them will live and get some of that stuff done before they get eaten. This tank is now unfortunately empty, but I did throw a bunch of guppy grass in there. And I had the Celestial Pearl Danios in this tank for a while until I figured out where I was going to put them. And I had some sparkling Grommies that did not make it. I don't know why. On the day that I decided to pull the fish out is when I finally realized that they aren't in there, and I don't know where they went. I never found bodies. 2 days before, they were looking healthy and swimming around. And this is turning into what would have been a great tank for them. Just all that covered, just to swim around. Unfortunate. I plan to get some more though. I like those microfish. Smaller, the better. My angels and lamp eyes. These guys are doing great. Isn't he gorgeous looking? But this tank really hasn't changed. It's just nothing's died, nothing's changed. The one male bristlenose in here is growing up doing well. There's 10 lamp eyes that none of them have died, and my 4 angelfish that get along swimmingly. This tank is really cool. I'm actually going to throw in at the end of this 2 little time-lapse things I did. I got these micro rasboras. I got 5 of them in here. There's usually 4 swimming over here, and always 1 swimming off over by itself over here, usually. I also have my pygmy cories in here. I got like 6 of them, and about 4 autos and some coolie loaches. I think there's 3 or 4. I had a coolie loach die. Don't know why. It just happens sometimes. But beyond that, it's doing good. This tank I have been having problems with. Doesn't look very good right now, does it? That's because this is the one I pulled the puffers out. You can see this black piece going across over here? That's one of these guys. That's what the algae looks like before I scrape it off. I've been seeding this tank now with a boatload of snails, and they're actually doing a pretty good job of getting this cleaned up, although every couple of days I'm having to reach in and wipe off my crypts so that I don't lose them. But I'm hoping to get this cleared up. When I get it cleared up, I'm going to put my aqua bridge back in and connect these 2 tanks, because I want my 2 very large coolies that are in here to meet up with my younger coolies and see what happens. I'm just a little nervous about it because of these microfish here. If they get in here, I don't want my glass catfish to eat them, and they are bite size. This is the tank that has no light, but this has no light, but ambient light. So only what it gets from the window, and before I go to bed each day, because I sleep during the daytime, this gets closed. So about 1 o'clock in the afternoon, this gets closed. My pothos growing down into the tank. You don't get a good, well, I guess you can get a good view of all the roots. I got a picture I'll throw on at the end of this video as well to show it, because I got a good picture of it with the light coming through it and everything, to show what kind of light it gets right before, right about the time I'm going to bed. So, beyond that, this tank is just holding guppy grass. These things, I love these things. Let's see. This is what I use to feed baby fish. Oh, this one's mostly worms. Now all that is some dirt in the water. This one is sand and rock. That one's just sand, and that one's rock, but it's been all stirred up, so there's actually, you can see the dirt sitting there on the surface. Beyond that, it's just this tank over here, which used to have some fish and plants in it. Now it's just got some guppy grass and a thing of some algae growing there, and I just threw some snails in and filled it back up with water. I don't know what I'm going to do with it yet. But beyond that, that's about all that's going on. Oh, I am trying to slowly catch some shrimp out of this tank down here. And you can see the one inside the cup there going on the leaf. Here pretty soon I'm going to reach in, I'm going to grab that cup, and with the holes on the side I can pull it out and I can drop that cup then into any tank I want, and it'll acclimate to the water as well as fill up with the water from there with slow little acclimation. And since all my water is pretty much the same in all my tanks, then pretty easy. The ones I've put in here really colored up. I wish I could. There's one. But I mean, they've really colored up compared to how they look down here in this tank where you can see how pale it is. That's one right there in the center with an egg sac. But look how pale she is. The ones that are in this tank here were that pale when I put them in. But that's my video. Hope you stay tuned for the time lapse.